Hello everyone, my name is Andy Sims, and today I'll be walking you through the survey tool that you will be using during the homeless count. I'll also be highlighting some important notes for you to keep in mind about particular questions and the structure of the survey along the way. So let's go ahead and get started. First, we're going to cover some logistics of the survey tool. The survey will be administered using your mobile device, such as a smartphone or tablet. There are two different formats of the survey, mobile and paper. We strongly encourage the use of the mobile survey whenever possible because it streamlines the process for you as the surveyor with built-in skip logic for questions. This means you will be automatically directed to the next question based on the respondent's answer. There are also two different versions of the survey, the full version and the observation-only version, which I'll explain in further detail shortly. There will also be a paper backup of the survey which should only be used in specific situations, such as if your internet connection drops while you are administering the survey, or if the person you are surveying feels uncomfortable with the mobile format. All questions on the paper survey match up exactly with the mobile version. The survey utilizes our GIS-enabled platform, which allows us to identify the precise location of each survey upon submission. The survey is based on the Survey 123 app, which you will need to download from the App Store of your mobile device. You will not be able to administer the survey through your internet browser. Instead, you will need to download the app to access the demo version that you can practice on and familiarize yourself with. The demo survey will be available for use until the morning of the count, when it will be deactivated. There will be two different ways for you to access the final version of the survey. On the day of the count, you'll receive an email in the morning containing a direct link and a QR code to the survey. Either one will get you there. It's just a matter of user preference. The survey will be activated and go live later in the evening, just before the start of your shift. Please do not share the survey link or QR code with anyone other than the team members in your assigned zone to maintain data integrity. Once you've downloaded and opened the Survey 123 app, you'll select the Continue Without Signing In option. You will also be prompted to allow the app to access your camera and location. I recommend allowing access to your camera if you plan to scan the QR code to access the survey, but it is not required. Please make sure that you select the option to allow Survey 123 to use your location when using the app. This is necessary to record and plot the exact location of each survey. Once you've done this, you'll be directed to a blank dashboard that looks like the image on your left. Now it's time for you to load the survey onto your dashboard. To do this, you will either scan the QR code provided by clicking on the circled icon on the top right-hand area of your dashboard, or you can follow the link provided. Whichever way you decide to access the survey, it will automatically populate and you will be displayed with an introduction statement and question. The survey will then be saved to your dashboard and will be available for continued use once you submit your first survey. You're now fully set up with the app to begin. I wanted to quickly go over some survey basics before we move forward. This one is important, so make sure that you take note of it. You should read each question to the participant, but do not read the responses they can choose from. Just ask the question and let the participant respond in their own words. There is one exception to this rule, specific to a question asking about long-term health conditions. For this question, you will read off each response one by one, but for all other questions, select the option that best matches the response provided by the participant. You want to make sure that you answer all of the questions, including the volunteer information questions. Otherwise, the system will not allow you to submit the survey. You'll notice that once the demographic questions are complete, you will have the option to select Dropped Out of Survey for each question. If you click Drop Out, you will automatically be redirected to the survey end statement and you will be asked to complete the volunteer information questions. If a participant drops out of the survey in the beginning when you are collecting the demographic information, follow the guidance provided under the question. As I mentioned earlier, there are two versions of the survey. The full survey is to be completed whenever possible when the participant you are talking to is willing to engage. The full survey will automatically begin once you select Yes to the introduction passage. We will emphasize completing the survey whenever possible because it allows for optimal data collection and creates a unique identifier for each person that we can use to deduplicate if needed. If a full survey is not possible, you can complete an observation-only survey. Some examples of when you would complete an observation-only survey are when a person declines to participate, or if a person is sleeping in an area that may be unsafe or inaccessible to volunteers. There are some instances when you should not survey someone, such as if they indicate they've already been surveyed, if you or one of your team members have already surveyed them in your previous shift, or if the person tells you they are not homeless. People who self-identify as not being homeless should not have surveys completed on their behalf. Whether you choose to access the survey through the QR code or direct link, you will automatically be taken to this opening prompt. You can read exactly what is on the introduction screen, or you can paraphrase the greeting in your own words, but please read each survey question as you see it word for word. The most important thing to confirm during your greeting is if the person is currently experiencing homelessness and if they are willing to participate. If they are homeless but decline to participate, you will be directed to complete the observation-only survey. If they are homeless and are willing to participate, you will be directed to the full survey. So here, I'm going to go over some navigation basics of the survey tool. Most questions will automatically populate on the same screen for you based on the response you select. Some questions will allow you to select more than one response. To advance to the next question or return to a previous question, you will need to scroll up and down on your screen. Some questions prompt you to enter a text answer. To advance, once you've entered the text, you will need to select the Done button. Do not select the checkmark icon on the bottom right-hand portion of your screen until you have completed the volunteer information section and are ready to submit the final survey. There are some questions that allow you to select an other response and should be utilized when the participant provides an answer that does not fall into the category of pre-populated responses. If you would like to utilize this option, click on the Other response. A separate text box will appear and you will be prompted to type in your answer. Once you type in your answer, click on the Done button to advance to the next question, not the check mark. Remember, the check mark icon should only be selected when you are ready to submit the survey. So now I'll be going through and highlighting some key points about the survey for you to keep in mind as you go along. Surveys can be conducted in either English or Spanish. To switch between languages, you will use the option at the top right-hand corner of the survey, which looks like a hamburger button. When clicked on, you will see the English and Spanish option. The survey does default to the English language. Switching between languages can also be done at any point during the survey. The third question in the survey is specific to where the person will be sleeping that night. If you're asking the question during the evening shift, or where they slept last night if you're asking the question during the morning shift. The survey includes all areas in Pasadena we expect you to encounter as a volunteer. If you click on one of the options that has an X next to it, as it is shown here, it will automatically end the survey for you because they are people who do not meet the HUD definition of homelessness and therefore are not included in the unsheltered count. I'd recommend you familiarize yourself with all these options using the test link I'll be sharing with you all later to practice with. After the place of stay question, you'll be prompted to ask about children. If an adult participant responds yes to this question, you will ask the total number of children that are staying with them and if there is another adult present. If there is another adult present, you will ask for their initials, which will help our data analysts link the two surveys together on the back end. Make sure a survey is conducted for each adult member of the household. If you encounter a family with children, at the end of the survey, you will be prompted to ask one of the adults' demographic questions, including gender and race, for each child. If there are multiple adults present, only one adult should answer the demographic question on behalf of the children. Make sure you communicate with your team members to determine who will be answering the questions about the children. There are a couple of questions within the survey, such as participants' age, that are autocomplete sections. This means you can type a response into the text box. An autocomplete function will assist with narrowing down the number of available selections. Then you will select the answer from the drop-down menu to advance to the next question. You will not be able to advance to the next question without selecting an answer. If a person declines to provide an answer or drops out of the survey, follow the instructions provided underneath the question to continue. In previous years, we asked about ethnicity and race in two separate questions. However, this year we have combined ethnicity and race into a single question. You will ask participants which ethnicity and racial group they identify with. Please be sure to select as many ethnicities or races as people indicate. Only select the prefer not to say, don't know option if the participant declines to give their ethnicity or race. If you're completing an observation-only survey, you'll be asked if there are any identifying characteristics of the person you are surveying before recording your location. You are not required to include anything here, but please utilize this section if you feel like there could be something helpful to reduce potential duplication. Identifying characteristics should be specific to physical appearance, such as facial features, hair, clothing, birthmarks, tattoos, etc. The long-term health condition question is the only question where you will read each of the responses to the participant. You will start by reading the entire question and then read off each response one by one and select all of the disabilities the participant indicates they have. Only record what the participant says they have, not based on your own assumptions as a surveyor. You have the ability to select multiple responses for this question. So as an example, you'll start by saying, have you ever been told, or do you think that you might have any of the following permanent or long-term health conditions? And then proceed by asking a physical disability, and wait for a yes or no response. If they say yes, select the response. If they say no, move on and ask a developmental disability, and so on. Repeat this until you have read all of the options to the participant. The last few questions within the full survey have to do with the vaccine strike team. Participants have the option of a team member coming to their location for providing a COVID-19 and flu vaccine and/or a Narcan overdose reversal kit. If a person would like to receive any of these three options, there will be an additional question asked about providing a phone number. A phone number is not required to be given, however, it would help the outreach team locate individuals in the event they cannot be located or their location changes from the time the survey is submitted. Once you have completed all the survey questions, click on the arrow to the left of the drop-down menu entitled Volunteer Information. Here, you will be prompted to pinpoint your location, select your volunteer zone, select your name within the list of volunteers, and enter your approximate location. For Survey 123 to gather your location, you will click the GPS button, which looks like a small target. It may appear to be flashing a couple times once you clicked it, which means it is attempting to pull your location. Then once you have been located, a map with coordinates will appear below. This means your location has been found, and you can proceed with choosing the zone you have been assigned. In the event the GPS is not able to acquire your location, you have the ability to click on the map icon to the right of the GPS button and manually locate yourself. Proceed by zooming into where you are located, and a blue pin marker should appear. The blue pin marker signifies your location. Once you have located yourself, click the check mark in the bottom right-hand corner, and that location will be passed to the survey. Then you will be ready to proceed to the next question. As I mentioned, this option should only be used if the GPS is not picking up a location for you. If the app consistently is unable to pull your location when using the GPS option, please verify that your location is turned on in your device settings. It is also crucial to fill out your volunteer zone and name correctly. Volunteer names are each tied to a particular volunteer zone. You will need to click the zone in which you were assigned. Once a zone has been selected, volunteer names that have been matched with that zone will appear as an option. In the event your name is not displayed in the drop-down, proceed with the Not Listed option and manually enter your full name. Even though the survey will have GIS compatibility, we are still asking volunteers to input your location information manually, like in past years, so we can confirm the accuracy of the system. This is very important and something we have had to contact volunteers about every year during the count. Please be as specific as possible when recording your location by including the side of the street you are on if you are bordering another zone or on the city border. Include the corner of the cross streets or intersection you're on or any defining landmarks. If you're on the corner of Marengo and Walnut, we need you to specify exactly which corner you are on. Is it the northwest or the southeast corner? This is important because the zones border each other and oftentimes there is overlap. If you are at a common location such as a Starbucks or a Subway, please explicitly state which one you are at and don't just type Starbucks. There are oftentimes multiple Starbucks locations within a particular zone, and we don't know which one you are at based on a generic location. On the night of the count, we will be monitoring responses as they come in, and we will call you directly if we notice discrepancies in your location information. Once you complete the survey and enter the requested volunteer information, you will need to click on the check mark in the bottom right corner of your screen in order for your response to be recorded in the system. If you click the check mark and have missing responses, you will automatically be redirected to the first missing question that requires an answer. From there, you will go through and fill out any responses as needed as directed by the system. Once all errors are fixed and you click the check mark at the bottom right corner of your screen, you will be displayed with the following screen and should select the Send Now option. Please do not save the survey in your outbox unless your signal drops and you are unable to submit, which we do not foresee as being an issue. After you select the Send Now button, you will be displayed with a screen similar to this as the survey is processed on the back end and sent through the GIS server. This may take a few seconds to complete. Once your survey has been successfully submitted, you will be automatically redirected to the My Survey 123 dashboard where the survey has been saved. To start a new survey, click on the Homeless Count Survey 2024 icon and press Collect to begin as seen on the screen. To close this out, I'd also like to point out important aspects of the Survey 123 app for you to be aware of. It is crucial that your precise location is enabled within the app so your survey response can be recorded in GIS. Remember, you'll be prompted to give the app access to your location once you download and open it for the first time. To confirm the app has access to your location, go into your settings and locate the Survey 123 app. Click on the location icon and ensure the While Using This App option is selected and the Precise Location option is toggled on as seen on the screen. If the app is not able to access your location, you will see this message displayed or an exclamation mark through the satellite symbol at the top right of your screen. If this happens, repeat the steps on the last slide to turn your location on within the app so your surveys are recorded accurately. If you click the X at the top left-hand corner of the survey, you will be displayed with a screen that contains three options. You can either continue the survey or close it, which will erase all of your responses. Be careful not to select this option by accident if you have collected responses already. Do not save your survey to drafts. Now you can go ahead and use the test link or scan the QR code to familiarize yourself with the survey tool and do a couple of practice rounds of both the full survey and the observation-only survey. If you need technical assistance as you navigate the app, please contact Daniel Cole from the Pasadena Housing Department via email at dcole@cityofpasadena.net. Thank you, and we look forward to a successful count with you this year.